Welcome to The Good Work, a podcast and video series that follows The Event Company, an event design company that specializes in corporate, nonprofit, and social events. Our passion lies in creating one-of-a-kind events that share the good work of organizations we are fortunate to collaborate with. Tune in for conversations with leaders of these great groups, our best advice for your next event, and some behind-the-scenes moments. Now, let us show you the good work.
There's nothing more we love than organizations that enjoy being innovative and creative, especially when we can collaborate together for one great event. In this week's episode of The Good Work, we will introduce you to our friends at the Sioux Falls Young Professionals Network and the great event we recently partnered together on, the Crossroads Summit. We'll hear from both Kayla Heising, manager at Ypn, and Daschle Larson, one of the Crossroads Summit co-chairs, on why they wanted to step out of the box when it comes to guest experience and some of the unique elements we brought to the event. Please welcome to today's podcast, Kayla and Daschle.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
We have some fun visitors in our office.
We do. I'm excited.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, we've got Kayla. Hello.
Hello.
Heising.
Heising, you got it.
See, I knew how to pronounce it, but we had a little issue in the intro with Callie.
I had to ask.
Just gotta go hi, zing. Like, hi, zing.
That is
Okay.
genius.
I know.
So
Genius.
I always have to say add and subtract, Addie. Because people are like, Abby? And I'm like, nope, Addie.
Like, it's
I
annoying.
know, and I
isn't
feel
it?
bad too because also my name's different too, as people always have to ask or whatever.
Kaylee.
I should have just. I answer to Kaylee 80% of the time. I think, so.
And we have Daschle Larson.
Yeah. And they always
Where did
say
your
you,
name come
you
from?
can't trust a person with two first names, but I have two last names, so
Yeah.
that means you can trust me. Right? Isn't that like the opposite?
That's so awesome.
George Costanza, yeah.
That's
It's
so
the opposite,
awesome.
yeah. That's what I'm
Well,
going with.
we just finished wrapping up the YPN Crossroads Summit.
Yes.
It was in August, so we're 2 months out. This is so
Yeah.
exciting to talk about it because this was an event where I think we were able to dream big and do things completely outside of the box, which is fun. Because now I actually just had a coffee meeting this morning, and one of those individuals was talking about the summit.
Oh, awesome.
Like I
Yeah.
think we see that happen a lot,
Yeah.
where people are like, "Oh, what about the floors? And can we do screens like this?" And I always say that imitation
Yes.
It's the
is
best
the
form of
best form
flattery.
of flattery.
Yes.
So people want to be you.
They-
How does that
they
make you
do.
feel?
Yeah.
Honestly, it was awesome. I've seen it so much too already of like conferences of people being like, hey, we want to do this just like you. And it's like, really? That never happens. Hey, cool.
So you're not like, oh, whatever.
No,
Oh,
no,
good.
because like I think what made our event awesome was like we stole ideas from other people. So like
Yeah.
I'm willing
Just-
to give out the ideas because I
Yeah.
don't know, makes everyone better.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So I want to hear more about your individual roles, how you got roped in this whole ordeal.
I loved it. Every minute. Every minute.
So Kayla, talk to us a little bit about what does YPN do?
Yeah, so YPN is a program of the Chamber. It's for anyone 21 to 39. We have people in all different industries, and really the goal is to develop and connect young professionals. We do that through a variety of different events. We have a lot of different committees, which is what Daschle is on. He's on our steering committee, which kind of helps drive the mission and vision of YPN. And it's really just a great way for young people to get plugged into the city. So
What happens when you're 40? Like,
you
remember
get
I told
kicked out.
That's
Just
what
kidding.
I said I'm
Out.
39, so next year, so you're gonna throw me this really awesome party, and then Kayla's gonna be there saying, "See ya."
See ya.
Bye.
We don't check IDs at the door, so
Awesome.
You just
I'm
told
still
us
young.
your card,
you're
though,
young.
You know?
I know.
As
I'm
long as
so
you're young
young.
at heart, you're welcome.
Good.
To
It's
be
like the whole like we'll
YPN.
go to an event now and be like, you can't sit with us.
Sit at the old people table with bifocals.
Yeah,
be in the
exactly.
OPN.
We'll get you a newspaper. Though.
OPN.
Yeah.
That's a
Older
cool one.
Professionals Network.
Yeah.
Isn't that ARP?
You can
Is that AARP or
Pretty
no?
much.
You can like start a club of all of your like 40-year-old people who are getting kicked out, and there's like a club.
But I find my
Like,
drive and
you-
by being around you guys.
Age is just a number.
You
Yeah.
should though. You can steal
Age
my
is just a
dad's
number.
idea. So my dad recently retired from being a teacher, and so all the retired teachers in town now have this like club kind of. And so every day on the first day of school, they all get up and go have breakfast together and like
That's awesome.
chat.
That
So you can
is.
start a club like that.
Done.
For like retired YPN
Do you need me to
members.
be your membership director?
I do. Yeah, come on over.
Gosh. So what about you, Daschle? Tell me about your involvement with YPN, and you're on the steering committee.
Yeah. So that's really how it all got started was through work at McKinney Olson. I just wanted to get out and network a little bit more. I knew Young Professionals Network was a great avenue for that. Through my involvement, I got asked to be on the steering committee, which has been a great experience thus far. I've met tons of phenomenal people, and I know it's very cliche to say, but developed a lot of great friendships as a result. So not only are they business acquaintances now, but they are truly friends and people I hang out with on a regular basis outside of work. So I'm on the steering committee, was on for 3 years. Was on for about 2 years at the point where Kayla had approached me, and actually the past co-chairs had reached out and said, hey, would you be interested in doing this? Kristin Redlinger, who couldn't be here today, was my co-chair in the event. And honestly, it was a phenomenal partnership with myself, her, and then Kayla.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have done it without those two, really. I mean, I was kind of the guy holding on to their coattails, getting dragged along. But I was very pleased with how it turned out. That's hats off to you folks for really helping out and making it what it was. But the two beautiful women that I got to hang out with the last 2 years really made it worthwhile.
2 years, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
2 years in the planning. And it's awesome because this event happens every other year, and it's traditionally been in that August timeframe.
Yep.
Is that right? So why do you take a year off?
I think we're able to go bigger and better when we do it every other year. And we're able, I think sometimes when events happen every year, there can be a little bit of burnout in it. And so with the Crossroads Summit, we really don't see that. And it's nice to ask our sponsors to not have to give every year.
Right.
And so that's a huge part of it too.
I think keeping things fresh and that engagement level, and it gives people something to look forward to,
Yes.
right? I think the first year that I attended was down at the Holiday Inn. We talked about this. I don't remember how many years ago that was, but
yeah.
and I think
2011, it was a 2-day event.
yeah,
Yeah,
Jenna
that's a
Bush
big one.
was there. That was a big one.
Yeah. I'm glad it's not 2 days anymore. I don't know how people take 2 days off of work for that
They
kind of
don't.
stuff.
Yeah.
I think people commend you for how the layout of the event is, because if people cannot attend the entire day, they can still be there to get that first piece and then the tail end of it if
Yep.
they can't do those breakouts or whatever that looks like. But
Yeah.
for those that are listening or watching, what does the whole day look like? You want
Yeah.
to share a little bit about that?
Kayla would be the best for this. I'll
I like how you're
break out-
using your day.
I'll give the males version, the summarized version. In the mornings, you come, and I shouldn't say that. That was
Whoa,
mean. That was a jab. That was more meant as a knock to the male variety. Just because, and I joked about this the whole planning process, that it wasn't without the help of the event company and Kristin and Kayla that I would have passed every small detail, which I think when you are planning an event, really make up that event and make it what it is.
Like you're
But
saying
me
you would have
being a
had
male-
hot dogs and beer
Yeah,
all day?
I'm trying to recover right here. And me being a male, I just bypass all that stuff. I don't notice. I don't have as attention to detail as what females typically do. And that's just meant as a
He's trying really hard right now.
Really
There's
coming
shovels
out
over here. There's shovels over here. Give me a ladder. But it wasn't without that attention to detail that really made the event what it was. But to give you a summary of the initial question of what the event actually was, you come in the morning, you check out, and what we created this year was breakout sessions, engagement spaces. And we did a great job of pulling the attendees in. I go to a lot of conferences, and it can just be stuffy, and you don't really know what to do in between your breakout sessions and your speakers. So we wanted to engage and make people feel like they were interacting and having fun throughout the day. So that was the one thing we threw into the mix this year. Then we have breakout sessions with prominent people within the business community to just come in, share their life experience, really. So we had 4 different
Tracks.
tracks. Personal and professional development were 2 separate ones, the state of our city, and then tech and innovation, which we felt are all key proponents to, one, the community of Sioux Falls, but 2, to young professionals and what we want to see and hear about. And then we had our keynote speakers, which we had a breakfast speaker, which is Alton Carter, and then Jesse Itzler was our keynote in the afternoon to kind of wrap things up. And he's owner of the Atlanta Hawks, married to Sarah Blakely, who is the owner and founder of Spanx. So I wear a lot of Spanx myself, so I was really pleased to know we were bringing it
They
up.
call it Manx.
They do
Manx,
have
there you go.
men's.
There's
Do they
such
do
a
it?
thing.
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm acting surprised, but I actually know that.
Is that like compression, like athletic?
I don't know what it
stuff?
is, but they have it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So I wasn't able to be there this year due to crazy circumstances, but how were the speakers?
They were awesome.
All I saw were bits and pieces post about the cryotherapy with Jesse. And that looked awesome.
It was like a highlight of the whole day.
That's so incredible.
Yeah. So Jesse brought so much energy. He threw a lot of F-bombs. It made people like really engaged.
Yeah.
They were like, all right.
Awesome.
He went there. He was really motivating. And then Alton too, he was the one who was right away in the morning. He told a really motivating story and kind of just was raw and real. And that was cool to see.
And I saw some pictures throughout. I tried to follow it all throughout. And I saw pictures like from Natalie and Matt Paulson and how the rooms were full. I mean, that's the best part. I think as a speaker, you want to make sure that you've got good content out there, or as a planner, that you've got good content and that it can reach a lot of different demographics and audiences and ages. And I think you guys did such a great job of developing those pieces because that can be hard. You know, you may think it's awesome. And you may think it's great, but are people going to come?
Yeah, especially with like the wide variety of young professionals coming through so many different facets that to nail down on like two people who can kind of reach all of those is
and that's really what we wanted to do
Yeah.
is just cater to the masses and make sure we were, reaching something and everyone was able to leave the day with something useful that they could apply to their everyday lives and to their professional lives.
And you did your homework, which I was so impressed. I mean, you guys went to Omaha to check out some of their pieces. When you're talking about stealing some ideas, I would call it utilizing your resources.
Exactly what it is.
But you did. I mean, you guys did your homework, which was awesome, and to be able to get your team involved, to be able to see those background or the behind the scenes pieces as a guest of what you can bring into Sioux Falls.
Yeah, I think going to Omaha really opened our eyes to like the potential of what we could have because it's always been an incredible event, but we didn't realize how many more opportunities that we could make it our own. And so going to Omaha the last 2 years, we've went there and it was really cool. So
do you remember when we started this planning process? We were like, let's do these Lego thing or building the cities and doing cars on the floor. Do you remember that? Like when we had first started talking. I mean, there was a lot of ideas.
I mean, when we first like came together and kind of talked about what this was, I remember we were like, okay, we want to go big. And so we kind of started to get our creative juices going. Yeah, there were cars and
beanbags. Yeah.
Like 6 foot, I think 6
and
foot
just
long,
massive,
like 4 foot tall beanbags.
Yeah.
It was in the like drawing process. I think when I went through my final like edits, we worked with a really great partner who came up with a lot of these really unique and creative engagement spaces that I think we'll talk a little bit more about. But I think I went through 6 or 7 versions of edits and things like that through it.
We're hard to work with.
No, it's the fun part of being able to do things completely different and then trying to find our partners that can actually execute for us because we may have these great ideas on how to do it. Like my husband built this. You stood in front of it, that boxwood wall at one of the First Bank and Trust events.
Oh, your husband built that?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had this great idea and I put it like on this little graph thing about how I wanted it in dimensions. Well, he built it and he did it like I told him to do it, which was great. Shout out to Drew. But now it doesn't fit in like the doorway.
Oh, shoot.
So like we may have the best ideas and the great ideas, but it's trying to find those partners that can execute for us because that plexi, we'll just talk about some of the engagement pieces, like the acrylic backdrop for the photo lounge. Like I saw pictures all over social media.
They were everywhere.
They were everywhere. They were in the event page. They were on Snapchat. They were literally everywhere. People were they were everywhere.
Yeah. I think it was cool like to see the picture afterwards, but also the experience of like standing behind the plexiglass, like taking it. I think that part made it fun too, rather than just a normal photo booth. So it was awesome.
It was fun to, like, in the creative process. I mean, it was nice to have partners who was like, oh, in the beanbag case, I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a really great idea. And he's like, you'll have to get it home and store it somewhere. And he's like, and then it's got to be, like, stable. And I'm like, yeah, those are all really great things. Like, I need someone to, like, bring me back down off the, like, when we were talking through things.
8-foot beanbag.
Yeah, it probably just isn't the most, like, feasible. But it was really great to dream it. And they loved it, too. They're like, these were things that we never thought that we would like really see here to get to be able to do and like to get their creative like juices going. It was such like a great partnership in that sense too.
Are you still eating gumballs?
We still are.
Is it truly out?
It's no,
Like, did you keep it out in between your offices?
Yeah, it's right outside my office, and it's really fun because you hear the machine crank. It's every day someone's eating a gumball.
Oh, that makes my heart
They're
happy.
breaking their jaws on them, but they're good
Strong
for
jawlines at the chamber.
Yeah, we're working them.
Do you have any good dental partners?
Thankfully, we do, so we're good.
And dental insurance? I don't know. I'm just going to rack it all out there. But.
We're trying to get through the gumballs so we can add like Skittles and other more pleasant foods.
Way to be frugal and make them do that versus like just take it all out and dump it out.
You're going to eat these gumballs.
That's right.
There were only like
10,000?
We ordered, I think it was almost 5,000 gumballs almost fit into
So talk about
the
those machines for those that didn't see them.
Okay,
I know
so
we'll probably show
have,
photos.
Yeah,
but
we do have a few photos, but we had 3 kind of main engagement space elements. One being, we called the sticky goals, of where it was a backdrop of the newly arch over the river. Yep. And people were able to put a sticky note on of, in the next year, I will, and complete the sentence.
I also have that in my office. And it's really cool to still like read everyone's
to read
goals.
People's responses.
Awesome.
Yeah. They were really awesome. And then we had a gumball machine that rated of the theme of the event was Be the Change. So we've posed the question, how do you feel about change? And there was 5 dispensers of gumballs, and each one had an emoji of how you felt about it. So either it was like the happy face, or it was like the I want to like throw up face. Yeah. And and trying to gauge. Yeah. I think if we would have had, knowing how many gumballs they fit, you couldn't even really tell if there's a dent in any of them to know like really gauge it. But it was fun to see, to like pose it to people. And then the plexiglass magazine cover for a photo booth.
So most people for photo backdrops, well, on the like beginner's end, you just have like a backdrop, like a pipe and drape, just standard. Other ones that you've got like some maybe sequins would be the next level up, right? And then the next level up would be your name all in the background. And we took it a whole different way. We made our own magazine cover. So the people that were standing at the magazine or at the backdrop were truly like the people on the cover of a magazine, which was so cool. And Jill, the designer from your team, took it even further. In the barcode, didn't she make it your phone number?
Yeah, she went all out.
I don't know if people knew that. We know that.
We know that. We know that.
But it was so awesome because you had partners that were listed on there. It was such just a cool engagement piece of it.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite parts. It was awesome.
Would you do it all over again?
Heck yeah.
Well, you kind of can. We built them out. So like a lot of the decals and graphics and like the big structure pieces, you can just take off and then reapply new ones. So
use it for other events. Yeah. I don't know when I'm going to need a gumball for an event, but I might.
You never know.
Skittles.
Skittles.
Yeah. There we go.
What would you say was your most favorite part of this year? Dash, I'll start with you. What was your favorite part of this year's event?
I love the speakers. I always like to listen to people that have interesting stories and backgrounds. We get the good fortune of hearing a lot of our local stories through our local media platforms, but to hear someone on a national scale like Alton and like Jesse, to be able to apply that. And some of it's stuff you may have already heard, but just that affirmation that, hey, what I'm doing is right. And my thought process is correct. I mean, I take a lot away from that. And it just kind of energizes you, for the rest of your time. One, at the conference, but two, if you can take something and make it stick, I think it can change your life, which sounds.
And you've heard Alton speak before, right?
I have,
Which was so
and every
awesome.
time I hear his story, it's kind of a chilling story. Alton's overgone a lot of adversity. He was in and out of foster homes, as you two all know, but. To see someone that's gone through so much have such a positive outlook on life, I think, on life rather, is it's really inspiring. So you go back home and you're complaining about traffic in Sioux Falls, or the kids are being irritable. It's like, hey, my life is great. I really do live a wonderful life and in a beautiful city with wonderful, amazing people around me. So not everyone's as fortunate to be able to say that. So yeah, definitely.
Speakers. What about you?
I really like the speakers too, but I think just like all the hard work that went into it, it was so fun to see people's reactions to all the different things, like the engagement spaces and the cookie dough bar. Like,
oh yeah,
I love that.
That was a hit.
I saw pictures of that on social media too. So I lived obviously vicariously all through social media. But I saw that.
I had so many people come up to me and was like, "Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Like, I've never seen this done at an event before, so that was really cool. And the AV and stuff in the room,
enhanced AV.
that was really cool to see, just like how it changed the energy and the music and the lighting and all of that.
Those, when you start talking about sensory, it wasn't sensory overload. It was just you're able to touch so many different senses. You've got inspirational speakers, you've got really awesome local breakouts, and then you've got great lights, awesome sound, good food. Like, you've got all these really cool elements that really make the day, which is awesome. And it is an experience. I think the days, we talk about this a lot, the days of just doing a cocktail hour or just a conference are gone. And for us to be able to educate people, they still don't understand. I don't think they fully grasp it until they go to one, right? So then we start hearing the chatter afterwards, like, ooh, can they do this? And can you do that? Or we want to mimic it like this. Like I just said this morning, we had that same conversation with somebody who just wanted floor decals, right? So it's those conversations that I think are pretty awesome and powerful. But it is, it's the way of thinking now for events. It's not where you just walk in, you grab a badge, and you go. Remember in the beginning we talked about facial recognition for check-in? Do you remember we talked about that? Like the events are going that way. Like it's no longer where you have to handwrite your name tag on this badge and then you walk in.
Well, everyone has an event now, so it's, which one do I choose to go to? And which one stands out and which one goes above and beyond?
And it's the branding of YPN. Like if you were doing things stagnant and you've got such innovative members that are thinking outside of the box as well, they're gonna be like, what's this about? Like then it's bad chatter out there in the community, and that's not what YPN stands for either. So you really have to feel your audience and making sure that it's applicable.
To kind of walk the walk, in a sense.
So facial recognition, here we go.
To look forward to 2021. Here it is.
It's gonna be all artificial, with the goggles and all that.
Do like a silent disco.
Just do it from home when you go to a simulator.
Speaking of silent disco, so something that was cool this year is we spent a lot of time trying to research on how to break a world record, right?
Yes, world record. Correct.
Good old Guinness.
You
want to talk about that,
friends? Sure.
Our best friends. So that was a process.
Way more than we had never attempted to break a world record. So I was like, whatever. Thinking knowing it was Guinness, there's got to be some rules. But we did some research, and first, options are limited. We had an attendee count we were estimating for about 400 people. Well, a lot of Guinness records are up in the thousands, 10,000s. So we're like, okay, our options are very limited for a smaller amount of people. So we came down to a couple options. One being for one person to do a coin flip solo. So it would have been more of a time thing. Yeah. But then our other two options came down to a disco party. Reading the fine print further, we had to find out that everyone had to be in matching costume, choreographed dance, had to be 2 minutes long or something, and it would have been a lot of work in advance. So we ended up to our winner. What we attempted to break was the most people simultaneously opening a fortune cookie.
That had the words "Be the change." You're the change.
Right.
Be the change.
I found a company, a great little company that customizes
out of Utah, right? Was it?
Yeah, family-owned company out of Utah that has custom fortune cookies that you have they have flavors. You can put your own message in it.
They're fresh.
They fit every dietary restriction.
Yeah, that was they were tree, pine nut, free, vegan,
soy.
Where's Kristin? That was her line.
That was her line. She knew them well. So we had that at each place setting. We kind of did this. We made sure it had to be timed out perfectly because people had to. It wasn't just that you opened it. You had to open it. As a cool factor, we had people read the message at the same time to kind of give this big moment, and then you have to eat it to be complete. So we'd have stewards and witnesses throughout the room fill out paperwork afterwards, basically signing their life away, saying I witnessed this and it is. I'm putting my name on it. And so we submitted the paperwork after.
So we broke it, but it still needs to be
unofficially.
Unofficially, yes.
Yep. So we did break it, broke it. We filled in all our paperwork, and it takes about 3 months to get your approval back. So we're on about 2 months. So we haven't heard back yet. For the next 4 weeks.
We didn't just break it, we shattered it.
Yeah,
right? Wasn't it 250, I think, was the previous record, and we had 337?
Yes.
Something close to that?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I was part of one other world record once with LeaderCast. So we had the most airplanes in the air, paper airplanes in the air at the same time. Cool. So it was in 350 cities across the world. And all had to have paper airplanes in the air at the same time.
That's a lot to coordinate.
Yeah,
but can you imagine getting poked out? You have to make sure, there's all those things too. So making sure it's up in the air and but they broke it. So isn't that nuts?
Cool.
Yeah. That was the only part of the day that made me nervous, was the
I
world
was nervous
record.
too.
Yeah, I was like, everything else is pretty smooth, but I was like, there's so many little details that we had to
of
make
making sure there were the right number of people in those those little quadranted areas, and tables had to be color coded. Like, these are all the behind the scenes that people don't realize. You can't just be like, I'm going to eat a bajillion hot dogs, like that dude, right? And when the hot dog eating contest, like, everything had to be quadranted out, color coded. We had to have them sign their life away.
50 people per steward.
Yep.
And they had to be placed around the room. Well, then we had to count like our tables and chairs to try to maneuver where that is, color code them to make sure how we could distinctly notify them without having like stanchions around every table being like, stay
nobody
in your
could
lane.
be a paid person that would have any bias.
We had to give them a ticket when they came in to
do
count.
it to like a double count to make sure we could get the count correct, and then.
But that was hats off to your team too, because Kristin and I were nervous when we were up on the stage. Like, let's not miss anything. But Kai laid it out very nicely.
I made sure the cues were right.
Through,
so like I don't like. So Sarah and our intern Paige were in the back, kind of handling. And your volunteers and witnesses, they were so great. I cannot because I was just the nervous part. You're like, oh gosh, what if someone doesn't show up? What if someone, or but then I was also worried if people didn't attempt it, like if they didn't complete it, if you didn't have 10% of the field not complete it,
then it's
everything's just it's not valid at all. So I was like, oh my gosh, what if people don't
I remember when we were like waiting for that approval piece of it, that beginning approval, we were asking Sarah to go to the Guinness website so many times. Like, I'm like, did you check?
Did you check?
Did you check? Yeah, and we had to read the fine print and go through this and phone call, and it was crazy.
Yeah. But they all did it.
Would
like
you
a
do
great
that
job.
again? Would you not? I'm not that we're going to break another record, but would you offer that up for another event on your side?
Probably.
It's pretty
Just
cool.
not fortune cookies.
Don't break ours.
But it's
you
like
and Guinness
cool.
are tight.
Yeah. But like, I don't know, because even like, the cues right, I was nervous about like, I was kind of in the back with Pinnacle doing the cues. I was like, sirens, lights, like, I was like, no, siren now, go. It was a well-produced
Who grew up though reading that book? Like, I grew up reading that book. Like, I couldn't wait till it would come out and you'd see like the tallest man or the hairiest woman or whatever the heck, just weird, cool things. Like, you would always read those, and I would always check it out at the library, or you'd get the paperback in your Scholastic book order. Do you remember that?
Oh,
I loved it.
I did too.
So there was always like a long waiting list at the library, and then like when you got it, you were like the cool person with the Guinness book.
Yeah.
So now we'll see if our name gets in the book.
Now you might be the coolest person in the book.
Yeah.
I hope so.
So it was fun. It was just like an overall, like, such a great event that was just so different. Like, it was just unique. It just pushed the boundaries. And so I know I was like thankful to be a part of it. And
oh my gosh, what are we going to do next time?
We'll see.
That's
we also have to go big. Yeah.
Start brainstorming.
Barack Obama, if you're listening,
please come.
Yes. We shout out to Barack.
We shout out to Barack a lot.
Really?
A lot. And I'm waiting for the day.
I've had dreams about Barack before the podcast.
Yeah, we got to plan his party.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
like the best dream ever.
We'll take Michelle too. I mean, she's available.
Any of them.
Anyway. Okay, before we let you go, thank you again for allowing us to be a part of it. It was so fun.
Thanks
it's
again
always
for all your work.
fun to be able to do things different.
Couldn't have done it without you.
That's right.
Oh, good ambassadors. Okay, we've got these fun questions we're going to ask you. You have not seen them ahead of time. If you've watched any past episodes, you'll kind of know like how they go. But
you won't know because they're new questions. Brand new. You're the first ones to answer them. So that's exciting.
I like it.
Lucky you or not lucky you. I don't know what it is.
So the first thing that pops off your head, pops out of your head. See, I'm really bad at those things, those cliche words. Pops off your head, out of your head.
Pops off your head.
Pops out of your head. Pops out of your off your mind, out of your mind. What is it?
Pops out of your head.
Comes up. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
See, bad. Okay, Daschle. What song would you sing at karaoke night?
Ooh, I watched a video on a guy that sang the karaoke song Tequila, because it's like 2 words. 'Cause I'm a horrible singer, so all you have to do is say tequila twice. So I would go Tequila because I'm just not a karaoke singer. So that's
good.
That's a quick
I'd say the one by Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow.
Oh, yeah.
Living my life in a slow
What's
hell.
that called?
Jeez, you got
Picture.
Picture. Yes.
That's a good one.
I made a music video to that once when I was younger with my sister.
You did?
Yeah.
That's fun.
I was Kid Rock.
Okay, Kayla, who would you want to play you in a movie?
Oh, Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, yeah.
Only for the red hair.
Totally.
I gotta go Ryan Gosling because I want to be that guy. Like,
You kind of do. You are like
he's
you kind of look like Ryan Gosling.
I'm trying.
You kind of have notebook going on.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, Callie, you can.
All right, Daschle, what 3 items would you take with you on a deserted island?
Ooh, I'm gonna be practical and say water, knife,
Okay.
And is there water? There's water because I'm on an island.
Deserted.
I'm gonna bring a rod and reel fishing.
Oh.
Yeah, I love the
You
outdoors.
just enjoy
so
it while you're there.
I want to do this sometime. Yeah.
Super practical. I
Yeah,
would give our
holy
answers.
cow.
Plane to
I
get
agree.
off.
A boat? Probably plane would be a way easier way to get out. My cell
Well,
phone.
you gotta stay there. You gotta
Cell phone,
survive.
yeah.
Oh, I have to survive on the
Yeah,
island?
survive.
Oh, that wasn't
was-
part of the question, but
I'm
I love
making
your
that part of it. I'm making
Yeah,
it.
I love
making
it.
it part of
I
it.
literally wouldn't know how to survive on an island. I'll
you a
take
bad-
Daschle.
Are you a bad camper?
I am a camper, but
No,
like,
a bad camper?
no, I'm a good camper. I
Oh.
just tented a couple weeks ago, and I was pretty good.
I always call myself a bad camper. So I've stayed at like the KOAs that have like bathrooms and showers. I could plug in a hair straightener. I am bad at camping
I would want a bathroom and a shower. Yeah,
and a plug-in.
I could go without
I could go
that.
without
We have a
the plug.
ceiling fan in my tent. We do, like magnets.
Wow.
Look at your faces.
sounds nice,
You're
actually.
getting judged. Right? Okay,
No comment.
what is your biggest pet peeve?
Biggest pet peeve, man. I don't know. My wife always says tuna fish, and that
Yeah?
drives me nuts. It's
Really?
like saying walleye fish or salmon fish. Like, what are you gonna have? I'm gonna have a tuna fish sandwich.
Does it
No,
say
it's
tuna fish on the can?
I don't think so.
I've heard people
I
do
think it
that
says
too.
I hear
chicken
that
of the
too.
sea. Yeah. That's the first thing that came to my mind. But it's
That's
like,
really funny.
It's just like saying I'm gonna have a walleye fish sandwich. Like, that's not like an idiot. You know? So,
That's
yeah,
funny.
That's the first I've
thing.
ever heard someone say that
Me?
though. And now
Look
that
at it,
now
though.
that you
Yeah.
say it though,
I'll hear it.
people
Tuna
totally
fish.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny.
Fish. Yeah. That's it.
Mine's kind of similar. When people say Aldi's, it's Aldi. You say I'm going to Aldi's. You don't say I'm going to Walmart's. I'm going to Aldi.
Shields.
And people
Yeah.
say it
Yeah.
all the time.
Shields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shields.
When people
Aldi's.
say frustrated and it's like frustrated, you ever heard that? They're like, I'm frustrated. Well, actually, do you remember? So like the first, Nate would probably attest to this. The first, I don't know how many episodes, they let me say, one of the questions was like, what would be the one song that would be on the soundtrack of your life? And I said soundtracked.
For like a couple episodes, when you're just like too scared to say anything. And then one time it
Just
was
tell me.
really obvious. And we're like,
Soundtrack of your soundtrack of your life.
It's really
I like it.
enunciating the word. Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, Cal.
all right, Kayla, what is one word your friends would use to describe you?
Chill.
Oh, I could totally
Yeah.
see that. Yeah.
Talkative. Yeah. Talks too much. If I could use multiple words. Yeah.
So, Kayla, if you could choose to do anything for one day, what would you do?
Like an entire day. I'm
Like, what would it
doing
be? Yep.
One thing.
Yeah.
I am, I don't know, hanging out with my husband. That's so lame.
Yeah.
I do that every day. I'm not going to say that.
Like, if you could not just one thing, but choose to do anything for the day.
Anything for the day.
Like, you want to just
Go shopping. I
Okay.
like shopping
good.
with an unlimited budget. I need that as well.
At
At
Yeah,
Aldi.
What about you?
I'd probably just explore somewhere new. I always like seeing
Yeah.
new parts of the world, city, whatever it is. Just see something new for a day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Daschle, what is a hidden talent of yours that people may not know?
Ooh, I'm very good with birthdays. Like if I hear someone's
yes.
birthday, it just I don't know why it just sticks in my head.
What's my birthday, Daschle?
I knew she was going to ask this. Oh, there's not enough time, so. But yeah, they've always stuck. I can usually
Birthdays.
get the month for sure. The day is I'm usually either on it or a couple
That's
days
awesome.
off. So yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
What about you?
I play the piano. So I'm a piano teacher, actually.
Oh, you
Wow,
are?
I didn't know that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I teach
Oh,
little kids on Tuesday nights.
Cool.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
that's so awesome.
It's fun. I love it. Teaches me a lot of patience.
Yeah.
I love that.
What
Six-
ages?
6 and 7. They're pretty young beginners. But it's a lot of fun.
Oof,
Awesome.
bless your heart. Daschle, if you had to eat one thing for every meal going forward for the rest of your life, what would it be?
That's tough. I'd probably go steak. I love steak.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could probably eat it every day. I'd have to mix it up a little bit with some maybe a A1 or seasonings, but I could do steak for sure.
Okay.
Bacon, hands down.
Really?
Love me some bacon. I grew up on a hog farm there, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you remember when they used to do like the Bacon Fest with the roller dolls or the bacon event with the roller doll? No? Do you guys remember that?
In Sioux Falls?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like
There was
great
like a
event.
whole bacon event where they would do like chocolate dip bacon and bacon brownies and all this bacon stuff. Like you'd go station to station. No?
Wow.
Yeah, it was
You
cool.
bring it back. If
was
they haven't
it.
done it in a while.
Roller dolls and Barack. If you're listening to the bacon. Okay, Callie, you got the next one.
Kayla, what movie or TV show title would best describe your life?
Oh,
These are hard.
Yeah.
Fixer Upper.
Oh, that's a good one.
Do you follow her home?
I
her
don't
home
think
Insta?
so.
Oh my gosh. I could tell you all about the sighting and the guy left his ladder. And then we talked about it this weekend. But yeah, it's fun. She's
It's a work
funny.
in progress.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know how Rachel Hollis the other day talked a little bit about like, it doesn't matter if you have 1 follower or 5 million followers, just do it and get it out there. That's what
what I'm
she's doing.
trying. Yeah. Follow me,
Oh.
the Heising home.
Okay, I will. Right after this.
Didn't you do like a like my husband or husband's like watch football? Didn't you do that post yesterday? It was on our personal.
Yeah, it was on my Heising home.
Okay.
He watches football all day and I can't handle it, so I just baked and canned and I spent the whole day in the kitchen. It was awesome.
Good for you.
Good.
Productive. Yeah.
That's fun.
You guys gave me a lot of time to think, but I would go Stranger Things. I think just a weird guy, you know. We have weird stuff that goes on at home, so yeah. Stranger
That's an
Things.
interesting one.
Yeah, that's
Interesting.
all I got.
So if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Hey,
I do love Sioux Falls.
I do too. But if I didn't live in Sioux Falls, I would live in the Netherlands. I studied there for a semester and I just love the culture there. And everyone rides their bike and it's really fun.
That's cool.
What about you?
I'd be Ireland for sure.
Yeah.
We took a trip there a couple
Yep,
years
yep,
ago.
yep.
We have family heritage, but just down to earth people. They love beer. I'd fit right in.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
It's rainy over there though, right?
Yeah, but there's sunshine in between.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ed Sheeran, right? Or isn't Ed from there?
I'm
Maybe.
Or did he just sing the Dublin song? Did you just make up that song?
He's just
No?
a redhead, so we all.
Whatever, you all hail from there.
That's
Well,
good.
thank you. These were
Yes.
fun. Did I miss any questions?
No, I
Am
think that's
good?
it. I think
These
we-
are
Awesome.
hard.
These
They
hard.
are.
So
Guys-
Emily on our team developed these questions. Callie did the first year, or
Yep.
first episode, or first season. Emily did these ones. These are hard.
They were.
They're fun,
You guys
though.
took
They're
on
good.
the
Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah.
Nice
Yeah.
I
like
can't wait
it.
to hear your answers.
Mine? Oh, gosh.
Well, thank you, you
Yes.
two.
Yeah.
This is fun. Are
Thank
you
you
the
both.
chair next year or no? Or do you pass the reins?
No, I think we're passing
passing
that
the
on. but
reins.
we,
Or 2 years?
yeah, need to figure that out.
Yeah.
So,
It's made hard to beat.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
if you
I
don't,
know about
you're
that,
coming
but
back, I
yeah.
guess.
As long as you guys are hired again, which
Yeah.
you will be, it'll be
Yes.
another successful event.
Yes.
So, yeah,
It was
we
fun.
appreciate
You
everything
guys did
did.
so great on stage, though, from what I heard.
Yes.
You did.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
did.
Yeah, there's a lot of Kristin rehearsing the script, Kayla helping us put it together, and your
production
team.
team.
Yeah, and Pinnacle did an excellent job too
Yeah.
with just kind of making the day what it was. So
Crazy.
yeah,
Team effort.
Well, until 2
Yeah.
years. I was
Till
going to say
next
until
time.
next year, but until 2 years. Until 2021.
yeah.
We'll see you soon. Thank you
Yes.
guys, though.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of The Good Work. A special thank you to Kayla and Daschle for joining us and sharing more about YPN and the Crossroads Summit. Tune in next week as we discuss all things event branding. Don't forget to subscribe to The Good Work on YouTube and iTunes and follow the event company on social media to stay up to date on the good work we are part of each day.